Well, I got another one, and this one seems like a doozy. But it raised a question in my mind, and that is, what is your obligation if you do find money? Stay tuned and roll it. Hello there, Sully here, the retired tanker yanker. Welcome to Transitions. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Just follow the finger right over here. And if you're a returning viewer and not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. And I'd like to thank all of my current subscribers. You people are the best. You make this worthwhile for me. Well, I got an email that on the surface is absolutely what I expected from it. It's a scam. This one's a little better than some of the emails that I've got. But it's apparently the person who sent me claims to have found a large sum of money and is enlisting my assistance to bring it into the country. Now, I believe it was Yogi Berra who was once asked, what would you do if you found $1 million? And his response was, well, if the guy was poor, I'd give it back. Classic Berra. But anyway, let's take a look at this email, and we'll talk more about that later. Now, as you can see, the headline of this email says, please read and reply urgently. Reply urgently. And read it urgently, too. But at least he's asking, please. Reverend Father William. Oh, a man of the cloth. This must be on the level, right? Well, the first red flag I got was the fact that this came to my spam folder. So it is sent to undisclosed recipients at missing domain, comma, big space, missing domain, blind copy to me. Oh, and by the way, since my email address is in my channel description, I don't think I'm taking a chance here by letting you see my email address. And if you respond to me with spam, I'll just block you anyway. But anyway, let's go on. Dear friend, please read and reply urgently. I am Reverend Father William. I was among the U.S. military force withdrawal from Afghanistan. Okay, syntax problem. I got your contact through a discreet search from the internet, comma. The reason why I'm explaining my findings to you is to seek your assistance to enable you to contribute immensely to the actualization of my dream. Oh, it's your dream that I'm helping you with. Okay. All right, Reverend Father William. What exactly is the actualization of your dream that you want me to contribute immensely to, and seeking my assistance to enable me to do this? While in Afghanistan, space, big space, I and my group of 2 men, not much of a group, in the buildings occupied by Talibans, comma, immediately we proceeded to the site. To our utmost surprise, we discovered an underground bunker in one of the buildings. Holy mackerel. This is obviously somebody that doesn't know English, doesn't speak English, doesn't read English. But let me go on. Upon investigation of the bunker, to our surprise, we discovered, big space, boxes safely hidden and sealed, comma, coded, comma. I told my men to open the boxes in order to find out the contents. And when they were opened, to our amazement, the boxes contained some U.S. dollars. Oh boy, it contained some U.S. dollars, which amounted to 12 million. 12 million United States dollar after I and two of the men counted them. Okay, remember what I said about syntax and sentence structure and things like that? I, however, instructed them to keep this in high secret so that we can have the money to ourselves. You greedy pricks. Comma, they all agreed to the plan, and we deposited the box with a foreign security company there in Afghanistan, as we cannot carry it out by ourselves for security reasons. Well, how did you get it to the foreign security company there in Afghanistan if you couldn't carry it out by ourselves for security reasons? I don't know. I just don't know. If what these people, they got to learn English if they're going to have even half a prayer of selling this to somebody. But now Reverend Father William continues. We are, space, now in desperate need of a, quote, reliable and trustworthy, unquote, person like you. Oh, like me. Ah, you must know me then. Who would receive, secure, and protect these boxes containing the U.S. dollars. Oh, yeah, the boxes that containing the U.S. dollars. For our assignment elapses there. We cannot leave the box here in Afghanistan for any reason, since Afghanistan is getting unsafe and dangerous every day. Well, I guess so. I assure and promise to give you 10% of this fund, comma. However, feel free to negotiate what you wish to have as your percentage in the deal. Gee, Reverend Father William, sounds like the ball's in my court. Please assure me of you keeping this topmost secret within you so that my job would not be jeopardized. Yeah, I don't think the Pope would be very happy if he knew that one of his priests was a thief. If this is acceptable to you to assist, comma, please quickly send me your details and address where we can send the box to, comma. Then we will have to make all the arrangements for the delivery with one delivering company there, and we don't want to delay any long in moving this box out of the country. Well, can't say as I blame you there, Reverend Father William. You don't want to delay getting that box full of U.S. dollars out of Afghanistan. Upon your response to my mail, I will send you my ID to you so that you can identify me when I come over to meet you in your country for the sharing after you have received the box. Kindly reply to me on this email address, Reverend Father William 12 at gmail.com. Please reply. My sincere regards, Reverend Father William. I don't know why you didn't add the subtitle, I'm a thief, by the way, because that's exactly what you're doing. It doesn't belong to you. You're stealing. Isn't that one of the commandments? Isn't there something in there about thou shalt not steal? You know the money doesn't belong to you. So if you're keeping it, you're stealing it. But, you know, every man and his dog that reads this knows that it's totally fake. I mean, if you go just by the syntax here, you know that this was written by somebody who doesn't speak English. And we all know that these emails come from someplace like China, where they really are using some kind of a Google Translate program to come up with this stuff. Because, you know, the syntax makes absolutely no sense. And, you know, punctuation is suspect. At least there's no spelling delays, although there's a few capitalization problems. Spelling delays? Did you just say that, Sully? You're starting to sound like this email. I've been reading too many of these, and it's making me talk funny. Okay, it's the oldest trick in the book that these people are trying to pull on me here. And that's trying to appeal to my greed, or maybe to the desire to have money handed to me, money that I didn't earn, money that falls out of the sky and lands in my lap. Whatever. But, you know, you are a man of the cloth. If you exist at all. I mean, this is, of course, pure crap. And, you know, everybody knows it. But Let's just suppose for a minute it's legitimate. You're supposed to be a priest. I don't know if you're a Catholic or an Anglican priest or an Episcopal priest or whatever. I'm going to take an assumption that you're a Roman Catholic priest. But anyway, you found money. You and your group of two men. Not much of a group, if you ask me. $12 million. U.S. dollars. United States dollars. And you want to enlist my help as a trustworthy person. You say you know me as a trustworthy person. Where do you know me from? But basically, what you're admitting here is that you're a thief, that you're stealing this money. It doesn't belong to you, and you're not trying to find who it belongs to. That's immoral. And if you are a practicing Roman Catholic priest, that's also a sin. You're worried about your job being in jeopardy. What about your immortal soul? What do you think God's going to think of this when you show up at the pearly gates? Hey, Reverend Father William, remember that money you found in Afghanistan that you didn't try to give back? Instead, you tried to keep it? Yeah, you're going to be taking the down elevator immediately after that. But I started thinking, you know, it is everybody's fantasy to find a big cache of money. I mean, there was an episode of The Honeymooners where Jackie Gleason found a suitcase full of money on his bus, and he thought he was on easy street. He quits his job. Remember, he calls up his boss. I quit. Furthermore, you are a bum. Remember that one? Yeah. And it turned out that the money was counterfeit. And he's like, I'm not. But yeah, what is your obligation if you do, in fact, find a sum of money? Do you get to keep it? Do you have to make a reasonable attempt to find who owns it? Do you have to turn it over to the authorities? And if you profit from it, do you have to report it to the Internal Revenue Service or whatever country you live in, to the tax service that handles things like that? Well, I did a little bit of a Google search here, and this is what I came up with. So I found this article from hg.org Legal Resources. Found money. What are my legal obligations? Everyone has seen a few cents on the ground, likely dropped when somebody pulled a ring of keys from their pocket. While we would probably not think twice about picking up a penny, what if it was a bank envelope full of $100 bills? It may seem like a dream come true, but there are certain legal obligations when one finds misplaced money. And keep this in mind, too. You do have legal obligations, which vary from state to state in the United States. I guess they vary throughout the various provinces in Canada or whatever country you live in. They might vary from locality to locality, but these are obligations that you have if you live in the United States. And remember, they do vary from state to state. And by the way, this is not considered legal advice. Okay, I'm not a lawyer. I don't even play one on TV. I don't claim to know everything about the law, but I'm just going with what I found on this website, hg.org Legal Resources. Every state has laws requiring the return of money or property if it is possible to identify the owner. That makes sense. As a result, if you find a wallet full of cash and an ID, you cannot legally pocket the cash because the owner is recognizable. The same holds true for a bank envelope full of money, especially if it has a receipt in it, a purse, or even an abandoned vehicle. If the owner is not easily identified, most states still require that you contact local law enforcement and give the money to them for a period of time to allow the owner the opportunity to claim it. Should the rightful owner fail to surface after a certain period of time, every state's laws will allow the finder to take the money as his or her own. Doing otherwise is considered theft. I'll say that again. Doing otherwise is considered theft. And the reasoning should be obvious. Everyone ever accused of theft would just claim that they found the stolen property if there was not this legal obligation to try to return lost things to their owners. Okay, that is sound advice, if you ask me. This brings us back to the usual holes one finds on the street, pennies or the stray dollar bill. Obviously, the time and expense of trying to find someone over a few dollars is so prohibitive that, while very technically illegal, keeping these sums is acceptable. As the old Latin saying goes, de minimis non curat lex. The law does not bother with trivial things. Of course, if you find this money and someone is walking around looking for it, then you would be breaking the law if you lied and said you had not seen it just so you could keep it. For added protection, particularly if you find an unusually large sum of money, you may wish to enlist the assistance of an attorney. Not only will the attorney be able to help you ensure the return of your property by law enforcement should the original owner fail to claim it, they can also guide you through the appropriate legalities and tax consequences for keeping the money. Yes, even found money can be taxable income as far as the IRS is concerned. Whatever you do, okay, this was obviously somebody who put this up there. Learn from his mistake. Do not give the money to anyone other than the police, no matter how honest they look, because you will probably never see it again. Well, that seems to make sense to me. If you do find a large sum of money, and for the life of you, you cannot find who it belongs to, contact an attorney first. Put the money in a safe place. If you have a safe place in your home, put it there. In my case, I do have a safe. Put the money there. Contact the police. Say you found a sum of money. Chances are they will come to you to pick it up, and they will give you a receipt for it. But before you do that, contact an attorney. Make sure you know your legal rights and your legal obligations. Okay, so that's what it is. And like I said, the laws vary from state to state. And as I'm saying before, I am not an attorney. I don't even play one on TV. So all I'm saying is what I looked up on this matter as to what would happen if you found a large sum of money. But now let's get back to the original purpose of this video, which is to expose another scam. I gotta say that this one was original. And at least they made an attempt at spelling and punctuation. But the syntax was still all over the place. You could obviously tell that this was translated from a different language other than English and sent for my benefit to try to appeal to my greed, to my desire to have money fall out of the sky and land in my lap. Dear viewers, it don't work like that. Money does not fall out of the sky and land in your lap. How many times must I tell you these things? But, you know, this one gave me a chuckle. This one gave me a good laugh. And I really had to think long and hard about whether or not to share this with everybody. And, you know, I opened the email and I read through it and I said, oh, this is going to take a lot of thought as to whether I should make a video. Yeah, okay, I will. And this is just another one in this series of I'm getting these scam emails videos, and I may be posting more of these because I'm averaging about 2 or 3 of these a month anymore. But I do want to say one other thing too before I bid you safe and happy travels, and that is that you're probably getting your phone ring at least 3 times a day from somebody informing you that your car's extended warranty either has expired or is about to expire. Now, these are scams, of course. It's a big scam. They're trying to get you to sign up for extended warranty. And I usually, if I get something that says restricted call or just says wireless caller, I ignore it. Every now and then I'll get a name on there. And then I see it's got my area code in the first 3 numbers are the same as mine. That's called spoofing. You know, they're hoping you think, oh, this is one of my neighbors because he's got the same telephone exchange as me. The same first 3 numbers. That must mean he lives in the neighborhood. I guess these people haven't heard of cellular phones, where you can get any number. It doesn't matter where you live. You can get the number, and then you can move across the country and still have the same number, same area code, same first three numbers. With what we used to call the exchange back in the day. I don't know what they call it now, but that should be a sign that it's a scam. That should be a red flag. If you're getting a call and the caller ID has your area code and your first three numbers, that's called a spoof. But you get these calls that come off somebody's number, and it's these people. It's not that person, or it might say wireless caller or anonymous caller, or I don't know about you. My both my cell phone and now my landline provided by Xfinity identifies calls as either spam or potential spam. And I don't like spam. Nobody likes spam. Well, you might like the spam that comes in a can that you eat with eggs and hash brown potatoes, but when you're getting spam emails and spam phone calls, they're a pain in the ass, aren't they? So if you don't recognize the name, don't answer. That's phishing. That's the same thing as what's happened with this email. They're just trying to pull somebody in. They're calling. Actually, the call probably originates from a calling center, probably somewhere in India or China or Russia, or it could be somebody that's just trying to make a buck here in America, and they have sophisticated software that sometimes you'll get a phone call and you'll answer it and you won't get an answer. That's just somebody looking to see if it's a working number and if somebody answers. So if you don't recognize the name, don't answer. If it goes to your answering machine on your landline or your voicemail on your mobile, that's going to be recorded as possible non-working number. Again, all I can say is caveat emptor. And once again, I can't say this urgently enough. I'm saying this with the utmost urgency. Money does not fall out of the sky and land in your lap. Don't fall for scams. For Transitions, I'm Sully, the retired tanker yanker. Safe and happy travels, everybody.